I've come to the Marquess Tavern in North London to meet Will Beckett, an expert in matching gourmet beers with food.
Will, how are you?
Good, thanks, Gordon.
Good to see you.
And you?
Beer is the new wine? That's bullshit. Come on, huh?
No, absolutely not. It doesn't have to replace wine, but beer's got the whole range of flavour that wine can do, and it's just as good with food.
I'm going to cook some veal so I can get the best possible match.
A little sprig of rosemary, a little touch of garlic.
Finding the right beer to drink with veal is going to be tough. Anything too strong or too bitter will overwhelm the delicate flavours of the meat. I need something smooth, not too gassy, and something which doesn't have a strong aftertaste.
Out. And there's yours. There we are.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Right, here we go. A little taste of veal, right? It's delicate. It's tasty. So I'm looking for something that can combine those flavours.
Classic British beer, Madonna's favourite.
Well, she's a bloke anyway. Oh, shit.
That's not right for you, is it? This is one of my favourite beers. Really, really nice, quite a malty flavour.
Colour-wise, looks nice. Smells quite sweet. See, initially, it's nice, creamy, light, but then there's an aftertaste.
It's a stout, so it's...
Cheers. Oh.
That was one of the ones I thought you'd like. I've got some ones that I don't think you'd like.
Shit.
Try this one.
See, that's not too bad. It's got quite a strong aftertaste. Trying to eat food with that level of bitterness at the back of your mouth as well.
It's a Scottish beer, aged in oak barrels. You're going to get kind of vanilla and caramel on the nose. You get that bit more sweetness.
You can smell the caramel on that. There's no aftertaste, there's no bitterness. Honestly, I mean, how hard is that going to be to replicate that?
The key to this kind of beer is the aging process. You need to find those kind of barrels.
That is delicious.
It is.
I honestly didn't think we'd ever find that, you know that?
We've done it.
Cheers. Ah.
Gordon, how you doing? Doodle?
Expert Dougal Sharp has come down from the Highlands to show me how to brew it in my back garden.
The missus is going to do a fucking nut when she sees the size of this barrel, you know that?
She'll love it. She'll love it.
And how many...
Looks a bit like you. You're a bit like that.
Yeah, right. That's gone. I'm very excited about this. I mean, it looks like something out of fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, Professor Balthazar.
Don't worry.
They probably think I'm brewing the kids or something when they're naughty.
This is the key thing. 90% of the flavour of our beer is from this barrel. Bourbon has been in the barrel first.
Right.
And it takes out flavours that you wouldn't want in beer. Smell that.
Vanilla,
You got a
yeah.
little bit of citrusy note in there.
Yeah. That is
So,
amazing. Sweet.
Creamy.
Flavour, creamy and slightly apricot-y.
My brew will eventually rest in the barrel for 30 days, and it will take on the smooth vanilla characters of the oak and bourbon.
So we've got a tank of water at 80.
80 degrees.
Yeah, we're going to mix that with these grains in this vessel. That's mashing.
The first thing Dougal instructs me to do is add salt to the hot water, then add malt, roasted barley and wheat malt.
Incredible. I mean, it's like a huge vat of porridge.
So, we've got mash. We just need to cover it up, leave it for an hour.
Cup of tea?
Sounds good?
Yeah.
After an hour, we are left with the wort, which is a sweet water flavoured by the grains.
Super sweet. Great.
That is incredible.
Taste.
That is absolutely incredible.
An hour.
Next, we mix in the first batch of hops, which will add flavour, aroma and a touch of bitterness to balance the sweetness of the malt.
You have a smell there. Completely unexpected smell.
That's incredible.
It's a bit like a Pinot Grigio, this one. It's a bit earthy.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of citrus character, and it's your classic sort of British hop.
This mixture boils for an hour before we add some final hops for flavour. Jack arrives home just in time to give us a hand.
Did you play football today, rugby today, drink any beer today?
All of the above, surely.
Bullshit, yeah. Smell. Hold on a minute. Does that smell nice and sweet?
Yeah.
Have a smell of that one in there. You reach. Put your finger in there, just see how black it is. It gets burnt inside. Huh? A little war paint. Right, you ready to put these in?
Yeah.
In goes the second batch of hops. It's a bit like adding herbs to food.
It's like a witch's potion when you stir it
A
round.
witch's potion? Excuse me, hey, this is your dad's very own beer. Hops? Yeah?
Yeah. I'll
So?
do the thing we just put in.
That's right. So, do me a favour. Yeah? Hop it. Homework. Now.
The final step is to pump the mixture into the fermenter, where we add live yeast, which turns the sugars in the malt into alcohol.
So 6 to 8 days in this.
Yeah, we're going to need to let it settle out a little bit.
Yeah.
Then we'll transfer it to the oak, and then it's just au naturel.
6 weeks from now, it will be ready to drink.
Excellent.
Shall we bless the brew?
Shall we bless the brew? How do you bless it up north? Oh, really?
Let's hope this fucking works.
Fuck it. You've done it. That's good enough.